Hey, what's up guys, ExcitaBros here, and today we're off camera with Lucas.
We're going to be doing 2 deck profiles and an ExcitaBros versus with them.
So get excited. The first deck profile of today is Father Son Kamehameha Son Gohan. This is a very aggro deck in DBS. You attack a lot with the leader. It does a lot of damage, really fast. It's a scary deck.
I love it.
It becomes triple strike,
and
it even has the feel of like the show, and that's what's so cool about it, because there's an effect on it. If you do that effect and you don't win that turn, you lose. It's an amazing effect. It's not a great effect.
If you lose, it's not great, but
yeah.
it's really awesome when you win.
Yeah.
And you win in your second turn.
But here is the cards we play in it. We play 4 Newfound Power Son Gohan. It's an attacker that makes you self-awaken, so you can get to your awakening turn faster, and it's critical, so they don't get anything out of it. Then 3 Awakening Talent Pan, just to have some more self-awakener if you don't get to this boy. If you have this one in your hand, you play this one, but this one's just to get to that self-awakening turn. And she's blue for combo power.
Very important.
Yes. 3 Commies. This card is just a draw, but it has the perk of being on board and stopping your opponent from untapping during going aggro with their Senzu Beans.
And it's a 5k.
Yeah, 5k combo. Same thing as this guy, lets you draw a card, 5k combo, and he can become blocker on the back, but he becomes 4 in hand when you get to the backside, just so you know. 4 check lands. You want to see this for the rest of the game after you charge blue-green. What you can do, definitely in this deck, is charge this, get turn 1, and then keep charging these, because you want to end the game by like turn 3 on average, probably. So
Turn 2 if we can help it.
yeah. 2 Vegeta the Cruels, just to stop your opponent while you're setting up the end of the game. You may not get it, but it's a 5k combo, so it's not hurting the deck any. 4 of an arrival card that makes you discard, because we're about to get into the hand control aspect of it, so you don't get... Your opponent's always losing advantage with this card. And it's only 2 energy, and you can get threats off the board. So it's really cool. And that card can go into this card, evolve into him. This card is stupid because it swings, and if they don't negate this, it's a triple strike coming out their face. This deck is about triple striking people in the face.
Yeah.
So, and they can't combo on top of this. So when you swing with this, they're taking triple strike. So that gets a negate out of their hand, so they don't negate your leader swings when they're triple strike. 3 Dark Temptation Toa. It boosts your leader by 5 for the turn for free over round 3, and it makes them discard a card. Whoa, great card.
Yeah, that's
amazing card. 1 double striker, because you just want to put in that cheap damage, and if you can throw it with the Newfound Power Son Gohans, that's double strike critical, and that's very crucial for the gameplay. Here's the super combos. I did a 2-2 split for this deck because sometimes you want to see this for the rival play, sometimes you want to see this for the draw power to go in for game. So, I mean, maybe later on we'll put it to 4 of these for the rivals, but we'll see. 2 of this, because this gets back all your extra cards from the drop area by warping this from your drop area. So it's a 5k combo. You can combo off doing early damage, and then you tap 1 green and get your extra cards back. So it's very...
Especially 1 card that's going to come up here soon.
Yes, probably. I think it's next. 4, Earth Destroying Cell Kamehameha. This card is the... Oh man, it fixes so many things. You can take a random card out of your opponent's hand, which is always better than having them choose. So it's always better. And 15k to a green battle card or leader. That is just so like devastating when you can put it on that critical Gohan, or when your leader is triple strike and you throw, I think, the next card on top of it. Feet Kamehameha, giving your leader crit. What the heck? Why? What? I know it's crazy.
With both of those cards, that's 30k added to it.
Yeah, you're going in when you can throw this on top of your leader with a super combo or one of these, insane.
And Roshi being able to get both of those back.
Yeah. And Senzu Bean being able to untap after you feat Kamehameha, it's another great way of just going aggro and going in. So 4 Senzu Beans always with this deck. 3 negates because you don't want to see too many. It's there when you need it, and you can bring it back with the Roshi. So you always have access to it if it somehow gets milled or something, just something like that. And then the final 2 cards, Hidden Potential, because this card is one of the best cards in the game if you're playing blue-green. It's just this deck can't really utilize it as well because you're going aggro so much. Sometimes it's really dead with this deck. If you see it turn 1, you're probably going to charge it, but is there to have it.
Just in case you get to that late game.
And that is the deck. There you go. Alright, so the second deck list is going to be of Android 20. So the front side is Android 20, and it makes you get androids to your hand by looking at the top 3. Self-Awaken, untap 2. And you draw a card, and if you have no cards on your board, you tap 1 green and get a level, cost 3 or less, yellow or green android, and put it on the board. It's amazing. But that's the leader. We're going to go into this package. See, I'm just working with this because I have no apes right now. And this is still a really good little package. Both of these tap each other. You draw 1 for each. So that's a draw 2. And if they stay on board, you keep value. And another thing, that's 8 5 cost yellow cards, which is really cool. And if you're going to play some arrival stuff, I don't really play any in this deck, I don't think, but it's just a good draw power engine you can throw in a deck. Definitely like this with how much you're filtering your hand. 2 Vegeta the Cruels, because this card, you want to have it in your blue-green, yellow-green decks. It's just a very versatile card, and it's a green 5K, so it doesn't come up as much as it used to, but 2 of is great.
It's probably also the best hand trap in this game.
Maybe. Unless you're talking about this card. Chomp of the Trickster gets rid of most boss monsters, like insane, ignoring barrier, rest that thing, draw a card when it's your opponent's turn. It's just amazing 5K yellow card. This card. This is a searchable counterplay in this deck, and that's why I run 2 of this. And it's a 3-drop. If you see, we got all the counterplays that have 3 drops here, because you're going to want to go up the chain that you're about to see. Here's another 3-drop that you want to play to Self-Awaken. It's a 1 cost, unless it's your opponent's turn. It's basically free because it untaps the energy. It untaps a green energy, so be careful when you're tapping. Don't tap a yellow energy because it won't be able to untap it, but this is a perfect card for this deck. Maybe not against the deck I'm playing, but it's there. 4 of the best card in the deck. It's insane. This is the arrival card that I was telling you about. It's a tap green and yellow. You can tap down an energy, tap down their leader card even. So this is going to be the bread and butter against that Gohan deck. Because if I don't see this, I may lose. And, being able to pop a battle card that's more than their energy is always great as well. So they can't go in with their battle cards if they're really big boys. 2 of the Super 17 Total Eclipse. I'm trying this card out. It's an okay card. It's barrier, so that's what makes it so good for this deck, because you can go into this and it's probably going to stick for that turn, because the other ones don't really have barriers, I don't think. So this card can also tap down your opponent too, so you can go into this tap swing at your opponent, tap down an energy, draw card. So it's like a mini version of the 9-drop that you're going to see later. We got 2 of this one. This one pops a barrier, so that's why this one is so good. And then if they remove it, you get to draw 3 cards. So it's just a 6 cost successor card that you can go into for 2 energy and remove barrier cards.
What
So
is
it's
that
really
called? Cell Devour of what?
good. Devourer of Masses.
Hmm.
And this is Topo Mortality Surpassed. I'm thinking about playing more of this one. I was just trying out this one because it taps down opponent's energy, and you want to do that going for game sometimes. So it's just there is a thing. But this one ignores barrier and KOs it, and has barrier. So this could be potentially the better version. I'm just trying out the other one. Then 3 of the Cell. He's a tap 4 successor into the 9, and he gets 3 cards out of your opponent's hand with them revealing their hand, so you can see what they have to see if you can finish off the game. He's always going to be a great card to go in when you have an android leader, and he's another reason why I want to play this android leader. So, but one of the best cards in the deck is this Super 17. He comes down for 3 energy. He has critical 9-drop. When he swings, he taps down 2 cards and draws a card. But the best effect is you can stall your opponent and put your opponent to 4 life by critting them down to 4 when he's played. Not against the deck I'm playing today, but it's good in general. And the Secret. This card's the most expensive card in the deck, of course. It's a secret. But you can play it before turn 5 and get all these freaking red text that it has on it. Quad Strike, Ultimate, Deflect, Energy Exhaust, Successor. And it's Successor for free. So if you have 12 worth of energy on board, you just plop this guy down by putting him in the drop. And he's got Deflect. If you have 5 energy, he gets rid of 3 cards in your opponent's hand, and you choose them. And he gets dual attack, so... If you get the 5 energy, you going in.
What's his name again?
Big boy. Celzino, the unspeakable abomination. Unspeakable abomination. Crazy name. And we got Analyze in the deck. The check land. You only want to run 3 because you don't want to run too many because you can't search this one. My favorite version of the deck as of right now is probably the blue-green yellow because you can search out the check land. So I'm just trying it out green-yellow. I went back to this to see if I could work on it some more, see what I'm doing with it. But this is a really good check land. And if you play it, it stops their combos. It's cool. 2 of this super combo and 2 of this super combo. This one is amazing with the deck because you can pair it with the Broly and you don't lose as many cards in hand. And it sets up your drop area for your back side effect to get out the android from the drop. And you get draw effect to draw 2, hand advantage, my guy. 2 artificial impacts, amazing card to get rid of barrier cards, and it's a 5k combo for the battle. So it doesn't have any flaws besides you have to tap 3 to remove a barrier. But you have to pay to get rid of barrier. It's just how the game works. 2 create an android. I'm trying this out right now because I want to see the Roshi Shien combo. And this basically has me set up for the Roshi Shien combo. So it's a really nice little draw for 1 energy. So it's nice to have as a draw 2, pitch 1. So it's always good. 3 Shock and Death Balls. This is one of the negates. It pops a card and everything. So you want to have negates definitely against the deck that I'm playing against today. And 2 Flying Nimbus to have 5 negates. And this card's always going to be good. Just being able to stop stuff, slow down opponents that aggro on board, but not against the deck I'm playing today. So that's it for that deck profile. Alright, so we're jumping right in. Shuffling on upper deck. So, the starting procedures, I'm going to say these the first time because some people that may be on this channel may not know how this game plays. So, we're just going to do like the basic rules. At the beginning, you draw 6 cards. And there's a mulligan rule for this game. And it's you pick your cards that you like the best and keep them. And the other cards you don't like, you put in the deck, and you draw the same amount that you put in. So you basically can have the perfect hand if your deck is built correctly and stuff. But it's not going to happen every time, obviously. It's card games. But it's a really, really good mulligan roll. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, it's way better than like if you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh and you get a bad hand and then that's it.
GG.
That's just what it is.
Sometimes in Yu-Gi-Oh you would draw a bad hand and that would be it. Like you couldn't play because you drew a bad hand. In this game, you can draw a bad hand and be like, okay, well I can put some of this back.
And then
and
also in Pokemon, you mulligan only because you don't have a basic.
Yeah.
Until you get a basic Pokemon.
And maybe that basic you don't want.
It's
It's so much. But this game, I feel, is a great game. Probably the best card game ever made.
Wow, Thomas is slapping.
Okay. Look, I love Pokemon. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. I love all these other card games. But the way this card game has worked, they've implemented so much into this card game, and made it so versatile and it does so much. Like every card means something. I
know.
It's so good.
Gohan and his father.
And the leaders are in the back over there. Leaders are just basically your stationary effects that are going to go off every turn.
And that's how you attack to take life.
Yeah. And the life right here is coming out. You have 8 life. And how you win is if you beat your opponent by them going... They go to 0 life.
Yeah.
So every time you attack, they're taking a life. Your opponent gets advantage for your attacks. That seems scary, but it is so good in the concept of gameplay. Like there's comeback game. There's ways of utilizing your life for your own gain. Like this aggro deck you're about to see, it utilizes his life as in like a draw effect. It's insane.
Basically, what I'm trying to do is actually take my life so that I can have more cards in hand, but also awaken faster, which is another aspect.
And be very, very aggro.
Yeah, which is also awakening is another aspect you have to be.
Yeah, you don't want to just sit there and have 8 life.
Yeah,
because if you do that, then you're probably gonna be losing. Unless certain decks you can do that. But so I charged a green yellow right here, so I can have my check land. Check lands are, and for one, I want to start off. I won the dice roll, so I immediately go first. That's how it works. So
you don't get to choose.
Yeah,
if you win, you go first.
Yeah. So we both charged a color for our decks. So you charge green blue, I charge green yellow, so we can check land the next turn, because that's how both these deck works. So I just decided, you know what, whatever, I'm just going to take these lives. Because he swings, he takes 2. We're even right here, 6-6. And he passes it on over to me. He's a very aggro deck, so I got to keep all my defenses up, so I got to keep all my negates on me and keep them in check. So I want to keep those in my hand in the 6-drop Burly. I charged it first turn, and it may have not been the best idea.
But you needed to do that so that he could play his check land without it being rested.
Yeah, which is a perk of charging it. Pros and cons.
And the same thing is like you shouldn't charge your check land first if you don't have another one.
Yeah, which he had another one that he could have charged, but he potentially probably wanted to keep it in case things went awry and he could do another play, because he has multiple play lines in his deck.
And this deck can possibly win turn 2. So I knew, like, having these 2 cards, having 2 check lands, I was like, I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I might be able to win, but you'll see what happens right here.
Yeah. So I charged the Broly because I had 2 Broly's in hand, and I knew all I needed to really do was keep 1. But knowing it's, hand control, Gohan, it feels bad, but it is what it is. So I negate this first attack. So I have 2 negates in hand. So I negate that attack because I have 2 negates. If I didn't, I'd probably just let that go through so I could negate the Gohan, because I'd rather him not go all in. Not the young Gohan, the leader card.
The leader Gohan. And then there you go, 2 negates.
So 2 negates. He restands, but he doesn't have the ability to triple strike me twice, and that's what I was trying to avoid. So it was a play line that I saw, so I went down that one.
Because him negating me, my Gohan made it where I theoretically could have beaten him that turn, but I didn't really have the resources to do so.
Yeah.
Because I could have attacked with triple strike twice.
Mm-hmm. But I negated that first
but
one.
But he negated the first one.
And the Gohan. So,
yeah.
The crit Gohan. So I negated both of them, so he had no ability to just go all in on the attacks. Because technically, even this turn right here, he could awaken, give this card triple strike or whatever, and do all that jazz. And you have Feet Kamehameha, but that puts you at a disadvantage because if you restand that second time, you lose.
Yeah.
And he didn't feel comfortable going all in on that turn.
Yeah.
So right here I charge a yellow because it opens up Nimbus because I've already used 2 Shocking Death Ball. So I'd rather just have a yellow up instead of a green. Certain matchups you want more green, so certain matchups you want more yellow. It was just the thought process of if I find a Nimbus with some draws, then
his leader was actually, he was hitting targets with his leader as well.
Yeah, sometimes like with all the Roshis and Shiens in the deck, I can whiff a pretty decent amount, and which sucks. But that's the reason why I like the blue-green one more. Is because you don't whiff as much. But this is part of RNG, my guy. Whiffing is a part of RNG. So right here he negates because he don't want to get below 3. If he wants to go aggro, and that's the reason why he didn't go in last turn. It's because he knew how to negate. So he had a defense mechanism for that next turn. So what he does, he wants to swing, take a life, restand, then take a life to become triple strike. So then he can have 3 triple strikes for just his leader.
I literally have to have 3 life to at minimum. Actually, I have to have 3 life for this. So I could technically have 4 life and do it.
Yeah.
But
you could have
3.
5.
3 is the I could have 5, but 3 is the minimum you can have.
Yeah, you don't want to go any lower.
If you have
than that.
2, you can't do it.
And that's the only reason why I swung, is because I knew I either forced a negate or put him to 2, so he had to play a whole lot differently.
Yeah.
Because then I would have comboed in. Because
and if he comboed in, then I would have had to combo, and then I wouldn't have had the resources to
go later on. So it's just that one negate, and that's all I really needed. And that's the reason why you only run 3 negates. Maybe push it to 4 if you really, really feel uncomfortable playing aggro decks, which, Jonathan's relatively new at the game, but he still kind of understands how the aggro play works, except right here, where he drops a feet coming on, but it's not on back, so he's not Goku yet.
Yeah, on the back is Goku. I know that.
Yeah, he got excited.
I got excited, man.
He got excited with
but
the
right here, what I'm trying to do is I'm wanting to tap one before awakening, so that because when you awaken, you untap an energy and draw 2.
Yeah, and the Cells Earth Destroying Kamehameha has the perfect card to do this with because you get a card out of your opponent's hand,
and
so
boom,
you get advantage,
gone,
and your opponent loses advantage, all with just a 1 tap because you're going to awaken, untap 1, draw 2. You're never losing really anything here.
Right here, I awaken, untap, and there we go.
And you're going to draw 2. And this is where he just sees that I'm untapped. I have everything untapped, but I'm at 5. So I don't have my awakening yet. So this is the perfect time for him to go in with the Feet Kamehameha on top of that. So it pushes me to 2 with the critical. So with Gohan, you're hoping that they don't have a self-awakener so they can self-awaken and get their turns going.
Oh, there's another
Cells Earth Destroying. This is very important. So he put the Feet Kamehameha on it already and stuff. So he's got so much combo power on top of this.
Yeah, I get to take a card right here.
Yeah.
I almost forgot to take one.
So he takes one, and
boom.
And
I
he
took
took the best card out of my hand. Picking a random card is always better than your opponent picking, because they're always going to pick the worst one.
Yeah.
And
I was about to do something I couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm excited, dude.
You can tell he's a bit new, but he's mainly just excited. Senzu tap 1, untap 2, and +5 for the turn. So
for the rest of the turn.
So right here, he's setting at 30 on lead, just base, and then he's adding 30 and then 15. So that's math. 45 plus 30, that's 75, that's 85 right there. So what he's doing right here is he's keeping his hand relatively filtered, so yet at the same time keeping his leader buffed, so his next attacks can still be strong. And he's taken so much out of my hand. He's basically he's took 2 cards out of my hand with just still going aggro.
Yeah,
it's insane.
And in the same time, I played the super combo there, and whenever it lets you draw 2 cards, but you have to get rid of a card, warp 1, and I warped the Ultra Instinct Goku there.
Yeah.
And that was the reason I did that was obviously because
he didn't need it.
I didn't. You don't need that. That's a late game kind of card.
Yeah,
so.
and he had a line of play that he potentially could have done where he could have played that 5-drop that you see in his hand and went into that to have another triple strike if he felt like that was the play that he needed to do. If I went aggro on him.
But I still had 2 more attacks with this Gohan potentially.
Yeah. So for example, let's say that he didn't get to negate and I actually did. I was able to push him to 2. This turn he could have played the triple strike, not had 3 attacks on his lead, but instead have 2 attacks with his lead and then had the 3rd attack as in the battle card.
Yeah.
It was just been another triple strike that I would have to force a negate or have the triple strike coming at my face. And I don't like triple strikes coming at my face. So here, he overruns for Dark Temptation Toa. Dark Temptation Toa gives his leader 5k for the turn, which is just the same as Bean. It's stupid, and it takes a card out of my hand. It's so annoying.
But he gets to choose this time. So.
Yeah, it's not as bad, but it's still bad because he's hit 3 cards out of my hand and is still going aggro. Yeah. Like it's just such a powerful deck.
I'm comboing with it now.
Yeah, so
because I'm going in.
This is going in for game right here. So he's comboing. He's got 5k, 5k, 5k. Like he just.
Let me wait. Look at my. There we go. Let me look at my hand right here.
You said right there. That's a 5k. Yeah, he's got all these 5ks in his hand. So he's like, oh, there's another one. Just drop that on there, So his leader at base right now is at 35. 35, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then he takes a card out of my hand here, or I take a card out of my hand, so I get to choose. That's important. I have a super combo in my hand, so I have a potential of comboing out, depending on what I draw here. So I'm making sure that I keep as much combo power in my hand as possible because I have the tap ones right now, and I'm not going to use this awakening as a awakening tool right now, obviously. I'm going to awaken, untap 2. So I'm keeping everything mana efficient, or energy efficient, as you would say. And so I used all my energy, keeping energy up, and I was still 5k behind. I was at 65, and he was at 70. I think that's the math. I knew I was 5k behind. I could be at 70, he could be at 75. I don't really know the exact math, but that's fine.
He was behind.
Yeah. So and either way,
that was a triple strike right there.
Yeah, triple strike. He won.
And here we go with the
elbow bump. Yep, there we go.
Let's go.
All right, thank you guys for watching. We found out that this deck is really broken. Super aggro. Triple strike is a mean thing, and still working on the kinks in this deck.
Gotta remember, backside is Goku.
Yeah.
Feet after turning over.
Yeah. And so this is like a tier 2 deck. This is like a tier 1. Just so you can see the difference, because you could see the difference in the video. So like, comment, share. Share the video to people you know who likes card games, and if you like card games, subscribe. So,
and on that note,
stay tuned.
Stay excited.